All right, Monique, great to talk with you again. I want to know this time, have you ever interviewed somebody who's really a good poser? I always say salespeople are the hardest to interview because they're naturally actors, okay? But have
Absolutely.
you ever had a poser who got past you for like part of the interview, you caught them later, or actually made it all the way through? You got a good story there that maybe you'll help
Okay.
our people be more aware?
Absolutely. Yes, I do. A lot of people are really good at lying and lying convincingly, especially when going on a first date or applying for a new job.
Yep.
You feel like you want to be the person who they're asking for, so you make yourself be that person when that's not really you. And unfortunately, that doesn't work on first dates and it doesn't work on first interviews because people are going to find out that you don't know how to do the thing or that you are a different type of person. All this comes to light eventually.
Yep.
So, yes, I've absolutely had someone. I had a position to fill where they didn't have any admins in their office yet. They were a small company becoming a medium-sized company, and they didn't really have anyone to be an admin yet. So I needed someone to come in and take a non-structured organization and make some structure out of it, make some policies, make some procedures. But slowly, you can't go like gangbusters into an organization that's never had an admin and say, this is how I want to do everything, and we're changing everything. And you have to tiptoe into those waters a little bit. And she was very good at convincing me that she was okay with lack of structure, and she loved creating new processes and procedures. And unfortunately, my mistake, because I always want to know what I did wrong, is I didn't ask her for an example. I trusted her that she knew how to do this when she didn't. And she did not last very long because she couldn't handle the lack of structure. She couldn't handle that nobody knew what it was that she did. Being an executive assistant or an admin, it's a strange job. Nobody really knows what you do besides you and maybe your executive. So you can't go in gangbusters into an organization and want to change everything head to toe. And that happened. So that was an oopsie on my part.
I've been there, done that, so, and much
How
worse.
about you?
So,
When has somebody fooled you?
I think the worst failure was at a company that had big funding, lost the funding. Guy walked through the door, said he could solve all my problems. The problem wasn't him. The problem was me. He said what I wanted to hear, that I could continue pursuing this dream, which I should not. I should walk away. And he was just he was incapable. He was in over his head, and I was.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's why part of the reason, a major part of the reason that now with my clients and on our own, we never hire anyone without doing what we call workouts or scrimmages. We kind of use the pro sports team metaphor.
Sure.
We used to call them test drives. So we put them through, like you talked about, some scenarios. You test them. So here's a scenario. How do you think? But then we also have them do at least a piece of work, do some writing.
Yeah.
We teach them something, see if they can do it. Even a simple thing like if I'm interviewing somebody and they're too verbose, they're talking on and on, I'll say, hey, we have a limited amount of time. Would you please be more succinct? If they keep talking on and on, that's a yellow flag. If
Yeah.
not a red flag, you're out of the game. Ejection.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, it did not go well. The company went from a .com to a .bomb, and was a wipeout. And I can't really blame him, like you brought up. You know, I shouldn't have said yes. He shouldn't have, but I can't blame him. I
Mm.
shouldn't have said yes. I shouldn't have said yes to things he did once he was on the team,
Yeah.
and it was bad. But I don't think I've made that a hiring mistake in a long time. So fortunately,
Once you get good at it, when you know how, this is a skill set to hire someone. That's why there's entire companies that are recruiters that do things like this. This is a specific skill set to have. So you have to know how to do it in order to do it well. So make sure that you're either leaning on the right people in your organization to help you with the hiring process, or you hire an expert on the outside to help guide you,
oh yeah,
or at the very least, look at other job descriptions that are describing the type of person that you want and see what you like about those job descriptions
Yeah,
and
but no, I'm sorry. I have to interrupt and take issue. So if I'm going to hire an executive assistant, and you haven't paid me to say this, I would definitely put the money in to hire you because you really know it backwards and forwards, particularly if I've never had one or I've
exactly,
had one that didn't work out very well. It's
exactly.
like, think of the cost. I'm paying that person every month. And now if I really have a superstar executive assistant, what's the pay range they're making?
I agree.
Tell me.
I mean, it can be anywhere from 60,000 to 250,000, depending
There
on
you go.
the,
Yeah. So look at that. So if I'm paying that type of money, that money burns really fast when I have the wrong person in the job, and the money that I'm going to pay you to help me structure it and evaluate the person. And I like to say there's two things you have to do when you hire. Number one is you have to do those workouts and scrimmages, okay? Scenarios, and then some type of actual work. And it might just be, hey, here's the problem we got. How would you solve that?
absolutely.
My clients do that. And then the second thing is you got to do a thorough background check.
Yeah.
And as an executive assistant, I would think you're recommending the same thing. And by the way, I recommend, I have a real specific list, but my list includes a civil court check. Now, in
Mm,
some states, you cannot make a decision based on a civil court check. But if they're suing their neighbor or their past employer or vice versa, I think you want to know that.
absolutely. Tells you what
Yeah.
kind of human they are, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I totally agree. Hire an expert, not just because it's something that I do, but having someone, especially these unique types of positions that can go in a lot of different directions.
Yeah.
HR can be a lot of different things. It could strictly be paperwork, onboarding, contracts, and that sort of thing. HR can also be, I throw the holiday parties and I know everyone's birthday and I'm the culture keeper. What type of HR are you looking for? Hire an expert who understands how to describe the thing that you're looking for.
Yeah. And the expert also, if they don't have a big ego,
Sure.
okay. But the expert, and I know you're this way, and I know I'm this way humbly, is our objective is to find the best, and we don't have a bias. Too
Absolutely.
often the person's bias, and that was where I made my mistake, was, I just wanted to fill the seat. I wanted to get the thing done. And you're looking over things that you need someone else to catch. And that's why I have clients that hire me every month to interview somebody and
Yeah.
check them out just because they want to know, okay, what does Dave think? And it's so yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that's, we have to talk about those mistakes and what we learn from them, because hiring is so important. It's the start of this relationship, start of a new season, and you want that season to be a good one for both you and the person you're hiring.
Absolutely. I always say if what you put into it, that's what you're going to get out of it. And especially in hiring. If you are lackadaisical about how you're hiring and who you're hiring, and it's just to get butts in seats, then you can't complain when you have a butt in the seat that's not the right butt. If you spend time and energy on bringing forth and searching for the right person, you will get someone who will work for you for 10 or 20 years. But you're
Yeah,
gonna, it's the same thing with a relationship. You're gonna get out of it what you put into it.
great. Thank you, Monique. Wonderful
Thank
as
you.
always.
Thank you so much.